Do the best you can with what you have. Welcome in, fam. Much love. Trav here, so appreciate you today for being here with me together to work on improving our situations, improving our lives in pursuit of the good life. And today, topic that go over frequently and is really basic, but is really important to come back to and to continue to work on and to go into more detail and go into more depth and get a better understanding. And that is to really do the best with what you can and not be distracted, but to see the possibilities from what other people have, but not to be jealous of others' success, and not to be sad of what we don't have. And that, I mean, it's common, and it's to a certain degree it's normal and it's natural to turn outward and say, I want more food, I want more money, I want better relationship, I want a better job, better relationships, better community, I want more, right? I want better. That's very common, but the problem with that is it leaves you missing a certain daily fulfillment, which I think is an important quality of having a good life, good days. And an essential quality of a good day is feeling a sort of fulfillment throughout that day or at the end of that day. And when you're turning outward and say, I wish I had that, the grass looks greener over there, I want to go over there, then you're going to lose out. Now, I do want to offer, though, that especially when you're young, you will have to seek, you will have to search, you will have to look, but at a certain point, that's not the end game, though. That's necessary to figure out where you're going to thrive, where you're going to flourish most. But at some point, you have to commit. You just have to, because I mean, you look at the quality of lives. You don't want to be here 2 years, here 1 year, here 2 years, here 1 year, and just constantly moving around and not forming really decades-long relationships, which those roots really make life better. So at some point you have to commit, and you're going to have to commit to something that's not perfect. And you can't focus on those imperfections. You can look at ways to improve it and ways to make it better, but that's doing what you can with what you have. You're still striving. You're just trying to improve your situation rather than trade it for someone else's. You're trying to, instead of think of another career where you could make more money or a different job, how can you do the most and raise yourself up with your current job? Instead of thinking, man, either I don't like my relationship, or she's not here, he's not here, that you can look at what you do have, look at the relationships in your life that you do have, that you cherish, your family and your friends, and remind yourself that this is temporary and it's impermanent, and we can't take it for granted. We don't have ourselves, we won't have each other for that long, right? Instead of saying, hey, I want to trade my body for someone else's, man, I wish I had her body, I wish I had his body. You have your own body. And it's not to say, hey, any shape of your body is okay, but do the most, do what you can with what you have. So your body is your temple, and it is your sculpture as well. And you should strive to do well with it, but to do well with what you have. You know, if you're short, if you're thin, if you're, you don't have the build that you want, do what you can with what you have and be satisfied with that. Don't be satisfied with, oh, well, I'm not really trying, but this is what I have. But be satisfied with, I'm trying. I tried hard with what I have, right? And that applies to all things. Although you may have to search, and as I kind of traveled around, and it's not as necessary, as expensive. You don't have to do it in the way I did it, but definitely like, okay, none of these places are right for me to live, and then find this one. It makes sense for me to live in Hawaii. It feels right and it makes sense. Rational and emotional. Okay. And now it could be better elsewhere, but I'm not going to look elsewhere, because it's just some point you have to commit and look at, hey, maybe I can't do better out there. I'm going to do the best with what I have, right? So, but it took me till 28, and you want to do it earlier if you can, if possible. You don't want to be relocating when you're 40 that much, not as much. in making a new social circle. So, but if you're like, well, this was the wrong place, I could have done better elsewhere, but I have decades here, then maybe you go with the decades and say, hey, oh well, can't go back in time. It's good enough here. I have these relationships here and a relationship to this place, and that is special. I'm gonna do the most I can with that. So in order to do this, we have to look inwards and be grateful, and look around us and be grateful and say, hey, we have this, I have this. It's very possible that I couldn't have any of this, right? So count your blessings. What are you thankful for today that you do have? What tools do you have at your disposal? And if you want to strive to improve and to get better and to get stronger and have a better life and provide more for the people around you, then what can you do with what you have? Forget what other people have. I mean, you can look at it, but don't be covetous, jealous, mad. Think, hey, that's what's possible for someone else, not necessarily possible for me. So I hope you find that useful. Appreciate you. Thank you for being here with me today. And I look forward to reading your comments. Take care.